Welcome to the Intel Parameterizable Macros video. My name is Philip. In this video, I'll be covering what Intel Parameterizable Macros are, what the benefits are of using Intel Parameterizable Macros, and how you can use Intel Parameterizable Macros in your design. To start, what are Intel Parameterizable Macros? Intel Parameterizable Macros are a way to quickly instantiate basic IP blocks directly in your RTL without having to configure IP using the IP parameter editor. The macros can be used in either VHDL or Verilog HDL and are available for both Intel Stratix 10 and Agilex 7 devices, with additional device support planned for the future. Dual-port RAMs and FIFOs are available in the Quartus Prime Pro software versions 23.1 and later, while PLLs and clock domain crossing macros are available in versions 23.3 and later. Now that you know what Intel parameterizable macros are, what are the benefits of using these macros? As mentioned, these macros are an alternative to configuring IP using the IP parameter editor GUI. Here are some situations where the macros could be beneficial. Let's say your design has multiple instances of the same IP, but with different configurations. For example, you might have multiple dual-port RAMs, but each instance has a different depth or width. To implement these RAMs using the parameter editor, you would create a separate IP for each depth and width configuration, generate the IP files for each, and then instantiate each of these IP in your RTL. With Intel parameterizable macros, on the other hand, you would instantiate the same macro everywhere in your RTL and set the parameters for each instance independently. No IP generation is needed. Also, if you wanted to check or update the configuration of an IP created with a parameter editor, you would need to reopen the IP GUI to check the settings and then regenerate the IP if you made any changes. With Intel parameterizable macros, the settings are visible right in your RTL and can be easily updated without having to regenerate any IP. Finally, in cases where you want to retarget your design to a different device family, any IP created in the parameter editor would need to be regenerated for the new device family before compiling. Intel parameterizable macros are device independent, so no updates are needed and they can be compiled immediately in the new device. In these situations, Intel parameterizable macros can save you time and reduce the number of files you need to manage for your design. Now that you know the benefits of Intel parameterizable macros, how can you use these macros in your design? Easy-to-use templates are available for each Intel parameterizable macro. To access the templates, open the text editor in the Quartus Prime Pro software. Open the Edit menu and select Insert Template, or click the Insert Template icon. This opens the Insert Template dialog box. Select either Verilog HDL or VHDL, and expand the Intel Parameterizable Macros category. Select your desired macro and click the Insert button. This inserts the template into your RTL, and you can connect the ports and set the parameter values as needed for your design. For more details on the Intel Parameterizable Macros, refer to the Parameterizable Macros for Intel FPGAs user guide, available on the Intel website. This user guide has details on each of the parameterizable macros, including a list of all the ports and descriptions of each of the parameters and their allowed values. In summary, Intel parameterizable macros provide an alternate method of configuring and instantiating common IP blocks directly into your design's RTL. Compared to using the IP parameter editor for these IP, macros can improve your design flow by saving time in IP generation and by reducing the number of IP files you need to manage for your design. Finally, templates in the Quartus Prime Pro software enable you to easily insert these macros into your Verilog HDL or VHDL code. This concludes the video. Again, my name is Philip. Thank you and have a good day.